So today I'll be your personal coach. All right. What does that mean? First, when you have a coach, like in football, basketball, anything, they have to first care about the players. It can't just be all about the game. I'm here because I care. Why? Because I learned some of the techniques, some of the skills, and I want to share them with you. I want everybody to be successful. That's just who I am. I believe in building people. Okay. So this is not a sales pitch for me. This is my life, every aspect of my life. This is what I do. I have experience that I just went through. I have the strategies and the techniques of which we're going to go through some of those. And I've attained almost, not all, but almost all of my professional and personal goals. There are a couple that I haven't accomplished yet. So that's why I'm going to be your personal coach today, if you let me. So with that, you have to give me a thumbs up. Say, yeah, we're here because we're going to let you be our personal coach today. And I do have a coaching business. I didn't mention that in the beginning because I don't want you to think that this is what this is about, but I do get paid to do this. So today, this is a privilege, guys, that I'm doing this complimentary because I want to give you a jump start to move forward. I know where we all are right now. And everybody, not everybody knows how to get out. Not everybody knows how to move forward. So that's what we want to talk about today. All right, with that, let's go. So if you have questions, put your questions in the chat. Somebody is monitoring the chat. So they will answer your questions. They'll get it to me so that I can answer your questions, or they'll just ask me when we're in between presenting. So please put your questions in the chat. Don't hold it in your head. There are no crazy questions. Somebody else is probably thinking the same thing you're thinking. So this quote right here, I absolutely love the writings of Dr. Miles Monroe, who's no longer with us. He's a phenomenal teacher, preacher in his own right. So if you have the chance, check out some of his videos, powerful. He says, it is not what you are that holds you back. It is what you think you are not. This quote did so much for me. It did so much when I was in the process of evolving and trying to figure out what in the world do I want to do? What am I here for? Not just ministry, because yes, I have a ministry call too. I didn't talk about that because that's not what we're going to talk about today. But what am I really supposed to do and what's going to bring me joy and make me happy? So I wanted to share this quote with you because it really does depend how you think. It depends your mindset, not just, people are holding me back, but it's what you think you are not that holds you back. I want you to write that down somewhere. That's kind of my motto, guys. So I wanted to share that from me to you. Okay. So all thinking is not created equal. Now, today, I'm going to challenge you to think a little different. I'm going to discuss some points that we might know, because some of the stuff we talk about today, I'll talk about stuff you already know, and I'll talk about stuff you probably didn't know or didn't consider. Whatever your position, today is all about giving you a little nudge or a little push, okay? I'm in the process working with somebody right now who's giving me a little nudge. So you never get to a point that you don't need encouragement. So I need all of y'all to know that everybody needs encouragement, okay? So all thinking is not created equal. We don't think the same way about issues or situations. So part one is critical thinking. You might have heard this term before. If you've attended college of any sort, you might have heard your professor talk about critical thinking. It is about problem solving quickly and efficiently. When there's a crisis like we're in right now, all of us have to use critical thinking. That means, what is the best solution for me right now and for my future? Not impulsive thinking, not just responding to what's going on, but really putting thought into it so that you can still be successful. The second form of thinking is creative thinking. And creative thinking allows us to develop ideas. This is where the creative nature comes in the creative thinking. That's when we're most relaxed and we have elaborate ideas and things we want to do. This is really where our visions are probably unfolding, our dreams and ideas, things that we want to do. So make sure you document these two types, because when we're in a critical point, your creative juices tend not to flow. So I need you to be clear with that, because sometimes we can be really frustrated when we have something to do, guides and goals, and you're like, why can't I get past this? It's because when we're in crisis, those creative juices are not flowing. It is when we're most relaxed and when things are going okay that our creative juices and when we feel our best selves. Okay? All right, let's go a little further. I put her because I wanted you to think about how you think. Yes, think about how you think. As I just said, all thinking is not created equal. You must be intentional about what you think and how you think. I hope y'all got that, because that's not deep, but that's clear. Good morning to those that are just coming on with us. All right, let's go. So today, this is where we're going to start. What's important to you? And this seems so easy until you sit down and you really have to think about. So I wrote out 7 categories that I want you to write out as well. Yes, you have homework today. You're not just going to sit here and listen to me. You really have to put in some effort. So break out those pens and papers or computers. I prefer for you not to use your phone because the typing on the phone, sometimes can kind of get in the way. So when you think about these 7 areas, what's important to you? Career or business? I don't know. Some people are entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur right now. I've always been an entrepreneur, but I did dual. I also had a career, as I just talked about, for years. And so I've been independent for almost 5 years now, just 100% entrepreneur. And we'll talk about that a little later. So your family, your relationships, your spirituality, your personal growth, leisure, life management, mental health. There may be some areas that is important to you that I did not put on here. Please feel free to put it in the chat, because somebody else might be thinking the same thing. I don't know. But why do you need to think about this? Because if you don't know what's important to you, it's easy to become distracted by other things that really are not important, but they'll take your time. If you don't have a priority, then you don't even know what to do first. So whenever issues come or distractions come, it's so easy to be taken off when you don't have a clear, defined idea of what is important to you. This is so personal, guys. This is so personal. This is not something that you can duplicate what somebody else thinks is personal. This is for you. And I want you to take that time, write this down, because what I want you to do right now is I want you to pick the top 4. Now, that's not going to be easy. Why? Because we really don't get to give ourselves, we can be honest, to all 7 at one time. Choose your top 4, and you have to give it some thought. That's not easy to do. It doesn't mean you love one area more or less, but it does mean in an opportunity where I don't know what to do in crisis, what do I want to do first out of this? What's first? So that's something you have to really consider. All right. So I want you guys to take a minute and do that, because I think it matters. You say, what's my top 4? Nobody's going to see your paper. So this is really up to you. Okay. Let's continue. I can't believe I don't have any questions yet. Okay. So as you are revisiting your life, you're looking at your 7, and then you narrow it down to 4. The 4 most important areas in my life. Then you have to do this. When I ask people this question in my coaching sessions, excuse me, if you're focusing too much on what you don't like about your life, because typically that's what happens, guys. People will tell me, I don't like this about my life. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. I want to do X, Y, Z. Then you have to take a long, hard look at your life and say, does this match what I said, what was important to me? If not, am I wasting time on things that are not even a priority to me? And is this eating my time? Is this causing a stressor? Is this causing me to have a weight and to deal with things that really have nothing to do with my destiny or where my heart really is? So that's something I really want you guys to think about. Now, this quote, you might not believe this, but most people experience life failures not over something big and crazy, but because they major in the minor things. And I want you to take a minute and think about that. What does that mean? They major in the minor things. They spend more time dealing with little nuances, things that have nothing to do with them moving forward, things that have nothing to do with their heart's desire. It takes your time, it takes your energy and that positivity that you need to move to the next level. It kind of eats away at that. So I need you to write that down. Most people experience difficulty, and the term failure, I don't typically like to use that, but this really is not my quote, which is why it's in quotations here. Most people experience difficulty or opportunities for improvement because they major in the wrong thing. They pay attention to the wrong things. And I want you to think about yourself. Take a minute right now and write down 2 things that I pay attention to that I don't have to pay attention to. And be honest with yourself. Say, you know what? I do give that too much attention. And I don't even know why. And it doesn't benefit me, especially if it does not help you. It doesn't build you. It doesn't encourage you. This thing really eats and takes up too much of my time. And that needs you to be honest. That might not be easy, guys, but you definitely need to be honest. Okay, let's go. So the topic is don't lose your roar. You know I had to put a lioness in here, right? So if that was my title, those of you that know me know I didn't pick it just to pick it. But something I learned about a lioness, besides she looks really fierce, doesn't she? Y'all looking at her, this girl looks like she is not playing. The lioness is a queen in her own right. And I wanted to put that quote here because she does whatever's necessary to survive. One of the things I learned about a lioness, and when you say don't lose your roar, she doesn't roar just to roar. The male lion absolutely will roar because part of it is exerting his territory, his energy, his power. But a lioness roars because she is giving you a sign that either you are threatening her need to survive or you're threatening her children. That's when lioness roars. She only roars when absolutely necessary. What does that mean? She doesn't sell wolf tickets. She doesn't talk about things that are irrelevant. She doesn't waste her time just walking around trying to seem important. She doesn't do that. She uses her power when she absolutely has to. Other than that, she is comfortable within herself, knowing who she is. I am really teaching this thing. I don't know if y'all responding to this, but that's the thing I love about a lioness. Don't lose your roar. You don't get caught up in what everybody else is doing. You don't allow them to silence you. You don't allow issues to silence you. Comparing yourself to other people will silence you. It will make you feel small. It will make you shrink because you are not comfortable with who you are. Now, I know social media gives us a platform to pretend to be in places that we really aren't. You know, personally, you can be whoever you want to be on social media, but you have to go home with you at the end of the day. That's the truth. And so this is about being able to live with yourself. This is what I absolutely love about the lioness. She has a quiet strength, just her walking. Something else I learned about her, she is the secret or the silent breadwinner. I don't know if you guys knew that, but to feed the tribe, she is the person who goes out and gets the food for her family. The lioness, not the lion, but the lioness is the provider. I hope y'all getting this today because I got so excited. But she doesn't have to tell everybody what she's doing. She's just doing her thing. So, ladies, you don't lose your roar when you become confident and comfortable with who you are and however your personality is. Don't ever change who you are to fit in somebody else's circle because you will lose your roar. You will lose your power. Your roar is your power. You cannot lose your voice. And life will make you lose your voice, make you feel insignificant. I was teaching something the other day and I said, popularity now determines what has value. Popularity. So the more popular something is, then it's like, oh, that's of value. But we know that's not true. Popularity does not determine value, and we can't allow ourselves to be caught up in that because then we try to move with what's popular over what God has really given us to do and what we deem valuable. So hopefully you learned something about the lioness today as we continue in this lesson. I see the chats coming in. That's right. Let's keep this conversation going, guys. So today, discover and rediscover your why. You must discover and rediscover your why. I told you why I was doing this today, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But no matter how well you're doing right now or how challenged you are right now, from one end of the spectrum to the other, there is a belief, y'all telling me the truth, that there's a belief that life can be better. I can be greater than where I am right now. And it doesn't matter if you're on the top of your game or if I'm struggling right now, doctor, I'm struggling. It doesn't matter. All of us, deep within us. How do I know that's true of you? Because you're on this live with me right now. That's a sure tell sign that I want better. I want difference. I want to improve. Nobody has a line there to tell me I need to improve. I know it for myself. There is something internal. If you've read the book Instinct, it talks about an internal drive that is in each of us that tells us that we have not fulfilled the plan for our lives. Each person, and I believe this in my heart, each person on this live right now, I believe that there is something special and unique about you. You are destined to form your own unique form of greatness. I know people talk about greatness, but greatness is relative. There is no line that say, when I got there, I'm great. You really do determine that I am greater. They have this little saying going around, just say when something goes wrong, they say, they don't want me to be great. Or the rain, like it's raining really bad right now in South Florida. So I was hoping that it didn't mess with the internet. And so people say, they don't want me to be great. I want to change that. And I say, they don't want me to be greater because I am already great. Why? Because the way I was formed, the way I was shaped, in the image, in the ideas, I am already great. That ain't arrogant. That's true. And if you don't think it, nobody else will. Okay? So you have to start there. I am already great. With that, I'm already enough. Okay? I am choosing to evolve to reach capacity. All of us have capacity, guys. What does capacity mean? It means fill us up to the rim. I have this coconut water. I don't know if you can see it. And the glass is not filled to capacity because I drank some of it. So that means it's ready to receive some more. That's how we are. Whatever we use, we're ready to receive more. So when you don't use it, you can become frustrated by the very thing that you're gifted with. Are y'all getting this? That can be crazy. You're like, oh my God, I'm so frustrated because you're not using what you have. You got to use it in order to receive more. I hope y'all are getting this. I'm so excited teaching this today. Okay. Discover your why. Okay. Now, here she is again. I love this picture, y'all, because this chick looks so focused. She's like, I'm about my business. I put this quote, and this is one of mine I've used for years. Frustration is an indication that you are ready for a shift. If I don't know if I was with a bunch of people, if you guys will holler out right now, heck yeah, that frustration is a sign. Why? As I just said to you earlier, when you don't use the gifts, the talents, the ideas, the creativity that is inside you, you will be frustrated by the thing that is sent to make you better. He doesn't just give it to you just for you, but there's a whole world out here that needs to benefit from what's inside you. How about those apples? Are you seeing that? That's something I had to learn. I had to learn that it wasn't just about me and that I didn't have the choice to not do because I don't want to, or because I'm angry, or because I'm hurt, or I'm disappointed, or because somebody didn't believe in me that I thought should have believed in me. I had to slow that down because I know a lot of us are right there. And we get so discouraged. We get so discouraged when we don't have an amen corner behind us. I started so many things by myself. I am an initiator. That is who I am. I start a lot of things from ground zero. I don't mind being the first. So there are things that I've started that I had absolutely no support. Today, I have lots of support. Thank God for that. I do. But I didn't start that way. So you don't get upset about it. You don't have an attitude. You just say, let me use this frustration in a way that it can be fuel for my movement. You don't allow frustration to make you stagnant and to put you in a position where you just stop pursuing or you stop moving forward. It doesn't matter your age, because I know that's another thing. You think we're getting older. I'm over 50 now. So there are things that I wanted to accomplish or things that I do now. When I was younger, some things I didn't even consider. So if you are younger, let me tell you, start planning. You don't fall into vision. Somebody needs to quote that. You must be intentional about vision. Time is not going to stop for you. Fear is not going to stop for you. All of the reasons, and they may be legitimate, because I don't mean to sound insensitive, okay? Not at all. I don't mean to sound insensitive. I'm very sensitive, but I know that life is not going to stop so that you can move ahead. That is a decision that you must yourself say, I'm going to be intentional. Okay, so I have a question. I saw a question came through. I thought they were going to just jump in here.
Yeah, I was going
Okay,
to jump in, Dr. Di. The
thank you. What's the
one
question?
question says, so how do you become greater over your frustrations and things that you struggle with? That's the
Okay, that's a compound question. Okay, so how do you did you finish?
yes, that's the first question. You want me?
Okay, so how do you become greater over frustrations and things that you struggle with? Okay, so greatness is, as I said earlier, it is relative. It really does depend on you, what you feel is your greater. That's the first thing. Frustration also is relative. How we receive or perceive whatever it is we are up against, it determines how we will respond. We don't have to be frustrated. Frustration is a choice. I mean, y'all might not like that, but it's a choice. It's an emotion that comes upon us that we make that decision to buy into it. And most of us are frustrated because things did not work out. Isn't that how we started this? When things don't work the way you anticipated they should work, then frustration comes upon us because now what do I do? When you are a planner and you take initiative, then you already have a pathway to shifting so that frustration has no place for you. you adjust, and then you continue to move forward. Okay. Struggles also are a choice. Struggles are things that we are stuck in between. When it's a struggle, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I know sometimes people use it as a bad thing. It's not necessarily a good thing either. It says, I haven't made a decision to go all the way. That's what a struggle is. It's like I'm in the middle. Part of me is I want to pursue whatever it is I'm pursuing. The other part of me, I still want to do what I've always done. That's what struggle means. My heart is not 100% in with this. So I'm kind of going back and forth. Most of the time, we struggle with things because we don't really have the data or the confidence to pursue at 100%. Okay. That means we're still uncertain or unsure that this is going to work for me. You might have seen it work for somebody else, but I don't know if this thing is going to work for me. So, as we continue in the rest of our teaching, I think we're going to talk about some strategies for this question that hopefully it will help you a little bit more about how it's your choice to become greater, and what's required for you to become greater. But what it required for me won't be the same as what is required for you. Okay.
This next question, someone wants you to talk about reaching your capacity in terms of prioritizing your goals.
Right. Okay. So the capacity thing is so deep, y'all, because if you're like me, a lot of people will encourage you and tell you that you have potential. And I'm sure all of you mental, you got so much potential, so much potential. You're like, okay, that's great. What do I do with it? So when you talk about reaching capacity, you have to evaluate yourself. And most people don't do that. You don't evaluate yourself. Where do I want to be? And where am I really? And what needs to take place for me to get from one end to the other? So we evaluate our jobs, we evaluate, I want to do this, but you don't evaluate yourself. So to reach capacity, you have to know your truest abilities. What can I really do? With that, let me be loud and clear. You cannot do everything you see everybody else do. You have to know what it is that I am designed to accomplish. Okay. I don't want to take this, too deep, but there are certain things that you are designed with. There are certain things internally that are placed inside you that you are to make your mark in the earth. But we get distracted by watching other people sometimes, especially if they're doing their thing. Now, ain't nobody hating on them and none of that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it might not be for you. Because anytime we step into an area that is not designed for us, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to be frustrated because it's hard and you don't have a flow and you won't get any fruit. It's nothing more annoying than working on something, busting your behind for something and have absolutely no fruit. That is frustrating. Okay. So you have to look at yourself. What am I designed to do? What's my passion? What do I really want to do? Even if nobody else is doing it, or even if everybody else is doing it. What am I to do differently so that I can move forward? Don't be intimidated by other people who are doing what you said you are designed to do, because if God gave it to you, there's the God, the G word, he gave it to you. He's going to create an avenue for it to come to fruition through your hands. There are plenty of restaurants in the world, y'all. Plenty of restaurants. You have to know mine is designed for me, my personality, and this is what I am empowered to do. And that's where you flow. And I think that's where you probably would get your fulfillment. I hope I answered that. For lots of other people who are thinking the same thing, you probably didn't answer that. Yay. All right, let's continue because we got some more stuff to cover. All right, I want you to take this second right now. What are your top 3 challenges right now? This is something when I'm coaching and I'm talking to my clients, this is just one of the things that we do. And If you listen to the conversation, we could probably list 12 things that ain't right. You're just like, oh my God, this happened, that's happening. I hate this. I hate my hair. I hate my size, all of these things. But honestly, what are your three? And I said top, because you might have more than three. Okay. I'm not here to resolve 50 years of issues. I am not. What I'm here to do is to open your eyes to your possibilities. Sometimes we're just simply looking at things the wrong way. I want to tell you that everything you need, honestly, let me shift, is already inside you. You might not believe that, especially when we look at ourselves. We can be so hard on ourselves, okay? We can give everybody else all these compliments. You're beautiful, you're smart, and all of this. But when it comes to us, we judge ourselves unfairly. That's the truth. Now, I do need somebody to write that down. We judge ourselves unfairly. We will give other people the benefit of the doubt and not give it to ourselves. So, what are your three top challenges? And I need you to be specific, write it on your paper. This is your own thing. Nobody's going to see this because you have an assignment toward the end. And I need you to be open and honest with this, okay? Be open and honest about your three challenges. Now, let me say this. Don't make the challenges about somebody else, because you can't control anybody else. So let me say that. You can't say, I have challenges because George won't act right. That's not that's not your challenge. Okay? With that, you just have to make a decision. Yeah, I said that. So challenges that you have complete control over. This is about you right now. Okay? So I want you to focus 100% on that. This is about me. What are my top three challenges? One of mine is I have so much on my plate. I have a difficult time balancing. That's a challenge for me. So I'm trying to figure out how to do it. I told you earlier that I have an accountability partner. I do. I have somebody that holds me accountable. I told you I'm in the middle of writing, and I mean crazy writing, because I've been writing, stop and starting for years. I have so many curriculums, guys. I have articles. I write everything. But I've been wanting to write a book. I'm talking about me right now. I've been wanting to finish a book. I've started probably about 10. I'm talking about me right now. That's like one of the only things that I really purpose in my heart to do that I haven't done. And I gave myself permission not to do it because I'm busy with all these other things. True, I am busy, but they should not replace that. That is my heart's desire. And it is a part of who I am to become in the earth. So I am holding myself back. Nobody else is holding me back. I'm holding myself back. So I got an accountability partner who holds me accountable every single week regarding that project. That's a challenge that I have right now. Okay, it's nothing to do with my husband. It's nothing to do with ministry or business. That's all about me. So hopefully you guys got that. So hopefully you wrote it down. I see some of y'all sitting back, nodding your head, so that means you're not writing. Okay, let's go. Shift requires change. Shift. Now, I put this here, and you see all the arrows going in the same place. People talk about it's time to shift. If you're on social media or if you go to church, it's shifting time. We're going to shift. And sometimes you're like, what the heck does that really mean? Okay, I've been shifting every year and in the same place. Y'all better tell the truth here. Don't look at me crazy. Okay, so shift requires change. Now, when you hear that, shift just means that you're moving in a certain direction and you kind of change directions. And most of the time, it should be upward. Okay, people don't really shift backwards, but it is anticipated that it is an upwards. It is, in a sense, evolution. Now, shift requires change. You got to change in order to shift. So today we're talking about constant movement in spite of. What does that mean? I have to change some things. Now, the sad part is people often tell me they want to change, but they don't put forth any effort. I used to think that they weren't serious that they want to change. That's not true. Okay. I realized that that's not true. A lot of people don't know how to change, they don't know what to do. And when it is programmed in your mind to be a certain way, it is very difficult to deprogram yourself. Or this is the term I want you to write: decode, decoding. Okay. We all have to go through decoding. What does that mean? Looking at what I value, what I think is important. And we're going to get into that a little bit more. But decoding is what we have to do about our own lives and about ourselves. Okay. So for changes to be true, y'all, they have to be lasting and consistent. Where I see a lot of people struggle here is with dieting. Hello. Okay. I don't diet. I don't. So dieting, people will say, I need to lose a few pounds. And typically it's because they want to get into a dress or outfit or whatever. But then you return right back to the old style of eating. This is my quote. I wrote this for myself over 20 years ago. Many of you might not know why I'm using the dieting thing, but I lost about 30 pounds, it's been about 22 years now. I lost about 30 pounds, 35 pounds, because I was not happy with me. Nobody said anything, but it was a decision I made. So this quote: change is hard, but change is necessary. It was necessary for me because I have a whole lot of health issues in my family, y'all. So I don't even want to get into that. But I have a whole lot of health issues, and weight really is a determinant for some of the things that my family deals with. Change is hard, but change is necessary. I do need you guys to write that down. Please, I'm going to share that with you. That's my conviction, that I had to make a decision to change the way I eat. So over 20 something years later, I still am practicing this lifestyle change because it started in my head. So for change to have true value, please remember this: it must be lasting and consistent. Lasting and consistent. Okay, let's go. Time is going really fast, guys. Okay, so we can go on creating lasting change. So this is what we're going to talk about. How do I create lasting change? How do I get it from here to my heart? Okay, because we can talk a good game and we can really sound so intellectual, like really smart. Okay, but that doesn't mean we're going to do what we said we're going to do. There has to be a crazy conviction within you. As I said earlier with my accountability partner, I had to just be transparent with her and tell her the truth as to why I wasn't doing what I said I wanted to do. And a lot of people that don't really understand why I can't change, it's because you're not being transparent. You're only telling part of the story. You're exposing the part you don't mind people seeing. But sometimes there's an ugly part behind that really, that's the key that's stopping you, but that's not the part that you deal with. Okay. So we got to get in a position to create lasting change. All right. Let's go. Number one, raise your standards. Scream that out wherever you are. I need you to say, raise my standards. You got to say that. I got to raise my standards. And I need you to read this. If you don't, and this is so funny because you guys on mute, and it's just all I see is you guys doing like this. This is hilarious, okay? It says, if you don't set a baseline, I need you to write that word, baseline, standard, then you will accept anything, okay? Guys, that's basically it. You'll find an easy way to accept attitudes and behaviors that are really beneath what you truly deserve. You have to have standards, not anybody else's standards, but your own personal standards. What do I really deserve? Okay. What do I think is valuable to me? And that's where you set the standards. If you don't, and this is not just in relationships, because I have people deal with this with relationships. They say they have standards. That's not why. I have standards, so that's why I'm not married. Oh, okay, I have standards and I'm married, so that's not the only reason. Your standards have to be conducive to who you are and where your heart's conviction is. If you don't have standards, then whatever comes, you will adjust your life to fit the scenarios. Okay? Without standards, you don't even know what's for you. You will accept anything that resembles, that sounds like, or looks like where I think I might want to be. And then before you know it, you have gone off so far off the grid until it's difficult getting back. So raise your standards. All right, ladies? Let's go on. So I like this slide. It says, getting yourself together. This is what I call my attitude slide, okay? Get yourself together. The most important thing I had to change, and I'm going to tell you what I did, okay? I had to change what I demanded of myself. And this is where many go wrong, is that you won't put any demands on yourself. The crazy part is you let other people put demands on you, and you will do whatever it is that they are demanding of you, but you will not put demands on yourself. I know that that's good right there. So that's what I had to do. Put demands on myself. Stop talking about what I want to do. Stop dreaming about it. Every year, it's a start of a whole new darn journal, and name it and claim it, or whatever, beginning of the year, declarations, and you don't do any of it because you don't put any demands on you. You have to say, girl, you are going to do this. Stop making reasons, excuses, a clause out, and they might be legitimate. I'm not saying they're not legit, y'all. They might be legit. What I'm dealing with is legit, but I cannot let that stop me. I put a demand on myself. You will do this, okay? So that's what I have to tell you guys. Put a demand on yourself. Please write that somewhere, even in your house. Put it on your mirror. What am I demanding of me? I cannot do more and let other people put demands on me that I'm not even willing to do for myself, okay? That is the truth. Now, I serve on a lot of other things with people too, and I do whatever is required of me, but I gotta also put those same demands on me. You deserve this. So everything that I've acquired, I had to talk to myself before I even started. Hello, y'all. Don't get sleepy. Talk to yourself before you get started, because if you don't, you will give yourself a way out. Ask me how I know. Yeah. Okay. All that. So you got to say in the beginning and stop lying to ourselves. I had to stop and pause there because we ain't got to worry about other people lying to us because we lie to ourselves. True. You already know where you are, and we'll talk about that. You don't tell yourself the truth. You deserve to tell yourself the truth. I can't stand when people lie to me. Then why would I lie to myself? Duh. Isn't that true? We don't want other people to lie to us. We get downright mad in relationships, but you lie to yourself all day. And lies are not always, I'm not able. Sometimes lies is, yeah, I could do this. I don't think I can do it. You're lying to yourself. Okay? All right, let's go. Pace yourself. You see this person running? Pace yourself. Manage your expectations. Lies come from, sometimes the expectations are so lofty. Okay? Manage. That doesn't mean you don't have any expectations. It means manage your expectations. Don't don't come up with something that's so far off. Like you say, and y'all, it's some crazy stuff that we can tell ourselves. You know what? I'm gonna lose 50 pounds when you hadn't even committed to lose 5. You've never lost 5. So you definitely have to manage your expectations. Despise not the beginning of small. Okay? My nonprofit today looks nothing like it started day one. It started as one entity. I think I have probably about 5 different separate entities under a big umbrella now, 10 years later. But it didn't start that way. So I manage my expectations and you grow with grace. You grow with grace. My grandmother said this years ago. She said, you want a growth and not a swelling. Swellings are indicators that an infection is somewhere in there. Okay? So you want growth, not a swelling. Grow with grace. Number 2, you cannot risk everything. Okay? You don't throw everything out there and just say, I'm going for broke. This is what happens. Sometimes people can do random stuff. I'm moving to California because I'm going to be an actress. And you sell out everything here, your house or wherever. You got to make sure you evaluate and you are wise in your decisions. You can't risk everything. Doesn't mean you can't risk something, but count up the cost. So you do take risk. You take healthy risk. Please write that down. We do take risk, but we take healthy risk. Okay? You got to count up the cost. All right. Are we doing okay? Woo! All right. It's 12 o'clock already. Let's go. Number 2, remember the first thing I told you was to raise your standard. Number 2 is change your limiting beliefs. Now, and I'm going to talk about that. You see this little picture? I had to put this picture, y'all. This little pinhead is the only orange little pinhead, and it's the only one standing. All the other pins are laying down. It's okay. All right? It's okay for you not to think like everybody else. I think I'm going to shout on that by myself. It's okay not to think like everybody else. Some of you have issues because your mind works different and your ideas are different. So you try to change the way you think and you wind up getting into some confusion because your ideas are not clear. Yeah, because your mind works different, but you're created that way. It's okay. All right. It's okay to be the little orange pen. Everybody says, I think, we should go this way. You say, well, okay, but can we consider this way? It's okay. Not in trying to be different, just be what you are. Okay. So I'm not saying be contradictory. All right. Change your limiting beliefs. And let's get into that a little bit. And then we're going to have a little activity. Vanna, thank you. Okay. So do you really believe? Now, this is a question I ask people and they say, I do believe it. But then when you start breaking it down, you're just like, okay, I thought I did. Okay. If you raise your standards, that's number 1, but you don't really believe you can meet them, you have already sabotaged yourself. I'm going to fight with that because that is true. Self-sabotaging is something that women do. Oh my God. It's like unconsciously self-sabotage. You don't have to worry about anybody else trying to break you apart or tear you up. You tear your own self up. You destroy your own ideas, your own vision because you don't really believe. You confess it, you say it, you write it, you journal it, you quote it, but you don't believe it. We're going to talk about it. Why? Because you don't even try. Try, effort to move forward. And try doesn't mean, I'm just going to throw it out here, to be intentional, to plan, to have strategies, to really move forward. You won't even try. And you say, but I believe it. Now, Why do our beliefs matter? And the slide said, remove limiting beliefs, because what we think and how we believe really does affect how we're going to move forward in a project or not. Our beliefs tell us how things really are, what we believe, okay? In our heads, we adjust to the way the life is. Right now, we're in the middle of this pandemic, okay? So people are looking forward to coming out of this thing because we've had to adjust our lives. So our belief is right now, this is how my life is. This is what I believe. But there are some people who made a decision to prosper during this season. For example, the interest rates are the lowest they have been probably since the housing bubble, or maybe even a little lower than that. They dropped under 3%. I'm telling you that that's the real estate part of me, because some people are saying, I'm going to take advantage of this season and I'm going to purchase and get a great interest rate when I might not have been able to afford something previously. I can now. I believe I can be successful during this season. If you don't think it, you won't pursue it. Your perception will tell you that you are stuck just like everybody else, and all of your behavior will point accordingly. Your beliefs tell you what's possible. They tell you what's impossible. They will tell you what you can do and what you can't do. Your beliefs, not what somebody said to you. Your beliefs will tell you what you can and cannot do. Do y'all understand that? It starts with you. So the first thing, I got to have a standard. Okay? The second thing is take out all those limiting beliefs. Anything that tells me that I have to operate within this arena, anything that tells me that I cannot do XYZ because of circumstances, then those are limiting beliefs. Any ideas you got from your parents that might have even insinuated that you need to play at this level, those are limiting beliefs. So there are things within yourself that I believe that I can accomplish. Are y'all with me today? Woo! All right. Been talking for an hour. Woo! Let's go. I love this. I hope y'all love this. Do y'all see this chick breaking through? When I found this, I was like, yes, that's me. I had to break through. All personal breakthrough begins with a change in beliefs. Somebody yell that right now. All personal breakthroughs began with a change in my beliefs. When I started truly believing who I was. Now, when I say this, y'all might not believe this. And I told somebody this a couple weeks ago. I didn't think I was smart enough to go to college. Now, I went to school. My grades were pretty decent. I wasn't a bad student or anything like that. But I had an idea that college was so hard and so far removed from me because in my immediate family, nobody had ever done it before. Now, I am talking about the 80s here, okay? So in my mind, I didn't think that I could do it. It seemed so hard. So I was going to go to the military. Can I tell my own truth here today? I was going to go to the military. Yes, me, because I'm a little bit tomboyish. Yes, I wear 5-inch heels almost every day, but I was a little tomboyish, okay? So I was like, I can go to the military because I can climb ropes and all that stuff. And it was an escape for me. Honestly, it was an escape. But my limited beliefs told me that this was my only option. This is what I had to do. And so it was later that I decided to go to college. I didn't apply until I think May of my graduating year that I was going to go to college. Y'all know that's crazy, right? But I did it and I actually got in. I had to do some maneuvering, but I did. So after that accomplishment and moving forward, then I realized all personal breakthroughs begin with my beliefs. When I started changing my beliefs of who I was, I didn't have to compare my smarts to somebody else. I didn't have to get the top score on an SAT or an ACT, and I still had options. So those limiting beliefs cause you to compare yourself to other people who might have done something similar to what you're trying to do, and causes you to minimize where you are and who you are. I hope that makes sense to y'all. But all personal breakthrough begins with your belief. You have to believe it. Don't just say it. And don't be emotional about it, because sometimes you're all emotional and you're crying and falling out, and I'm gonna do better. And then you find yourself right back at that same place. There must be an unwavering conviction in your own heart. Let me say that again. There must be an unwavering conviction in your own heart. Okay? And that's how you change your beliefs. All right, let's go. This is one of my favorite passages, Proverbs 23:7. This is something my kids learned when they first started school, their first day of school, Metropolitan Christian Academy of the Arts. And they came, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. This says, as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Now, you know, this is not man in the masculine sense, but I believe this passage is so true. Whatever you think in your heart, that's what you will be. Nobody can wave it over you. I can't pray it over you, speak in tongues over you. You can't even sow enough into this, okay? You have to think in your heart that I can be this, okay? We must develop a sense of certainty. Be certain that we can and will meet the new standards before you actually do it. There must be an unwavering conviction that I can and will do this, okay? So please, if you've never read this passage before, write it down, keep it somewhere. It is a power text. It's a power text. It says you have the control, okay? And it starts with your belief. Let's go. It's activity time. Woo! All right. You guys have been awesome. So let's start with this quote. This is a way to start after the breakout rooms, right? Until you prioritize, until you accomplish the next most significant priority, everything else is a distraction. Now, what a way to start after the breakout room, right? Everything else is a distraction when you don't prioritize. And I want you guys to really consider that distractions are not just things that make us angry. Sometimes there are good things, but they're not purposeful things. Yeah, get that. Sometimes they're good things to do. So, but they might not be purposeful to do. So you have to make sure you have your priorities, because it's so easy to get distracted off onto doing things that are good ideas, but might not necessarily be a great idea for you. All right, let's go. Number 3, remember what number 1 was? Smart people, raise your standards was number 1. Number 2, remove those limiting beliefs, whatever we think our ideas. And number 3 is change your strategy, okay? Change your strategy means the things that you've always done that you know it's not working. And the way you know that is you have to evaluate what you're doing. You have to look at where I started, where I am right now, and where do I really want to go. So in life, lots of people know what to do, but what? They don't actually do what they know. So you can have the answer. And this is where some of us get stuck in knowing what to do. Some of us get stuck in knowing what to do, but not actually doing it. So that's where I want to challenge you today to take action. Say that to yourself. I must take action. So it's not enough to know, okay? I must take action. I need y'all to say that. I'm looking at you. I must take action. So if we were in a live place, you know I have you yelling this because y'all know I'm so drama when I'm doing these coaching sessions live. So I must take action. If you release it in the atmosphere, it might be a little bit more conviction there. When we say stuff inside our head, we think ain't nobody hear us. So, it don't matter. It matters. Okay? Change your strategy. All right, let's go. I absolutely love, y'all see all these dramatic pictures I'm putting in here because it helps tell the story. Whew, time flies. How many of us have ever felt like time is going so fast and that time just caught up. You just like, I plan to do this, and time just happened. I mean, just wave at me if that is your issue. I know that's my issue. Yeah. Time flies, and not just when you're having fun. Time flies when we are distracted. Time flies when we're not focused. Okay. So time doesn't only fly when we're having fun. Now, you see this beautiful quote down here? I think I was going to really shout on this quote. Make time your ally instead of your enemy. That right there should have made somebody's head shake. Make time your ally. Time is not your enemy, okay? It is not our enemy, but we don't do well with time. And so it just goes through our fingertips. Do you see it's like sand falling through? You can never get back your time. Time is valuable. And you don't even waste this time. And I'm just being serious when I say this on things that don't matter. You don't waste your time arguing about things that don't matter or trying to prove points to people that it just is not going to further you. It's not going to move toward your purpose. You don't waste your time. Your time is valuable. I need you to say that my time is valuable, because sometimes we steal from ourselves with our time. Time is valuable. You'll never get it back. Actually, one of the most valuable things you can have is your time. So even when people do things like this is your investment. You said, I'm investing in me right now. So this is my time because I have a desire to improve my life, right? Okay. So write that somewhere. Make time your ally instead of your enemy. Time is not my enemy. Say that. Time is not my enemy. Okay. You have the same amount of time as everybody else. So there is no conspiracy against you. Will you ask yourself the hard questions? Okay. Asking yourself the hard questions. It's easy for us to ask other people, what's important to me right now? And what will be important to me in the long term? You got to make a distinction between the two, because what's important right this minute might not be important in the long term. All of this is changing your strategy. What is important to me right now? The second part of this, which is really powerful, what actions can I take today that will shape my ultimate destiny? What can I do different today? Okay, not just receive, not just listen or write it down and put stars and circles and hearts, but physically, tangibly, what can I do to shape my destiny, especially if I want to be greater? Okay, because you're already great, but if you want to be greater, ask yourself the hard questions. Lay hands on yourself, be honest with yourself, and ask yourself the hard questions. And am I where I want to be? Okay, that's a very hard question. All right, let's go. So how do you do that? Number one, discovery. I said we were going to discover and rediscover today. We're going to discover and rediscover. Find your power. Find your power. Everybody has it. So the same power that's available to them, you also have it, but you have to have courage to claim it. Okay? God didn't give certain people power and certain people, you got this. No, we all have power. We must have courage to claim it. Why? Because power makes you visible. When you start doing the thing that you were designed to do and you do it with power, you become recognizable, and you must have courage. Why? Because let me tell you this. We like to look at people on top, okay? People who are doing their thing and so forth, but there's a lot of opposition when you have movement in your life. It might not seem like a big deal to you, but people come for you. They don't even know you and will come for you simply because of what you have accomplished. You got to have courage to attain your power, okay? It doesn't take courage to remain small, but it takes courage to become big. Are y'all getting this? So the issue is this. The difference in the results that people produce comes down to this. What did they do differently than the other people in the same situation? Our situations are not that different. All in all, most of us have more in common than we do not in common. So what did we do differently? Sometimes you can have conversations with people. How did you do that? It is a simple adjustment. And that's what we're talking about today. These little small life adjustments. There is nothing wrong with you. You're not crazy or any of that. But sometimes we do have to make these little adjustments so that we can hear well and respond well. Okay? So, discovery, find your power. Write that down. I must find my power. Not celebrating somebody else's, but help me to find my own power. Okay, let's go. So, all right. Number 2 is decision. Remember, number 1 is discovery, finding your power. Number 2 is decision. This is where most of us get lost. Okay. Number 1, everything that's happened in your life, both good and bad, but began with a what? Decision. Good and bad, guys, start with a decision. And a lot of people don't want to make a decision because they're afraid it might not work. But it might work. It might not work, but it might. Okay? So you have to be willing. That's that risk I told you about. You don't risk everything, so you don't lose everything, but you can risk some things. Number 2, it is our decisions, not our conditions of our lives that determine our destiny. Our decisions. What does this mean? People who in far worse situations than you are right now have accomplished much more. And I'm talking about me. It is not our circumstances. They've come from rough backgrounds. People who were raised maybe not with their families, maybe in foster care, or had alcoholic parents or whatever, the bad situations. And they made a decision that I'm not going to be a product of my environment. I'm going to be calm because it has to be what I believe and strategically move toward that. You must make a decision. Your choices determine your destiny. Your decisions determine your destiny. Are y'all getting this? So it is not, oh, this happened, so I'm going to become this. No, you decide and you choose. You decide and you choose. Number 3, indecision is a decision. When you don't decide, you decided. That means fate decided for you, life decided for you, circumstances decided for you. So when you don't make a decision, you made one. Okay? So let's be clear. You say, well, I'm just too nervous. I don't know what to do. Well, not doing anything, you did something. So you have to have that confidence and that boldness. I know y'all weren't going to like this part because, you know, y'all real quiet now. I wish I was in front of y'all so I could see y'all faces and just say, I'm talking to you. I'm talking about making a decision and an informed decision. Do you know what an informed decision is? Do your homework. Do your homework. Do your homework. Don't just jump out and do stuff because so-and-so said, oh, this is what I did and I became rich. Let me say this, and I ain't hating on nobody, but I'm going to say it. And you can email me. I don't care. All these people out here selling all these ideas, jumping on these pyramid schemes of becoming a millionaire overnight. That's a swelling. That is not a growth. Okay? You have to do your homework. How does this connect to me? How does this help me? Is this a part of my vision? Ain't no get rich overnight schemes. That don't last, guys. So I really want to tell you the truth with that. Yeah, they taking pictures with their Benzes and, you know, Rolex and all this stuff. And you're like, oh my God, they like really living. They doing the thing. And you get caught up and totally lose the vision that you have that's designed for you so that you can attain and accomplish whatever it is you need to accomplish in the earth and feel good about it. If guilt is associated with it, it ain't you. If you got to cheat people and all that, con and lie, that ain't for you. So that is a decision you have to make, that I'm willing to go slow and steady. Slow and steady. I told you about all the businesses that I have, most of the businesses that I have, and I have multiple. But one of our biggest businesses, my communications company, that's the company that we decided about 5 years ago that we were both going to walk away from that paycheck every 2 weeks, and we're going to do this thing. Now we had to calculate the risk to do that. So 5 years later, yes, My company is moving forward. We're doing what we're doing. But I didn't just start 5 years ago. Can I be honest with you guys? Can y'all handle the truth? Because y'all looking like y'all can handle the truth. I actually left my job in 2008. I left my job and I decided that I was going to do some ministry stuff and build the business on the side. Well, and meanwhile, we were doing fine. The market crashed. Y'all remember when people lost their houses and all that kind of stuff? The market crashed. So now my investment business isn't, I'm not doing anything with that. And now I've left my every 2 weeks check job. So what the heck? So what I decided to do, my kids were going off to college. I decided to help God. Okay. And I went back and got my job back. Now, it's nothing wrong with my job. It was nothing wrong with it then. It was me. I made that decision because I looked at my circumstances. I looked at my situation and it seemed like I didn't have a choice, that this is what I had to do to move ahead. So I went back, I did it. I was absolutely miserable. That's why I said, can y'all handle the truth? I was absolutely miserable. Then I stopped building the business. So the business actually was stagnant for the years that I went back, because what I was supposed to be doing is building the business. So I had to make that decision to go back where I was supposed to be. And now, yes, we're doing well, but I'm thinking, what if I hadn't made such a poor decision, okay, because of my fears based on my circumstances and situations, where the company would be today. So that's what I want y'all to understand. That's my business. So you know I must really like y'all because I don't tell people my business. All right. So decision. All right, enough of that because I know y'all like, okay, move on. Now, this is what I want to talk about. Oh no, what if? Oh no, what if? What if it doesn't work? What if I fall apart? What if they lose me? What if I lose them? What if I mess up? I do something wrong. I didn't do the right thing. What if, what if, what if? What if land is not your friend? Okay? It is a place of stagnancy. It's a graveyard. It's a graveyard. Why? Because a lot of the ideas and the creativities are stuck in what if land. I'm talking to you. It's stuck because in your head, you're so concerned about it might not work, but it might. It might work. Mine is working. Okay? Didn't mean I don't have no hiccups and we had to readjust and all of that, but it's working. I'm so glad I did it. Okay? So, two things I want to play on: pain versus pleasure. Pain versus pleasure. If I evaluated everyone on here right now and I asked, okay, how many of us likes pain? Nobody gonna raise their hand. How many likes pleasure? Everybody's gonna raise their hand. I like pleasure. Okay. I want you to understand pain and pleasure really are the determinants for our decisions. What does that mean? Everything we do is done either out of a need to avoid pain or our desire to gain pleasure. Did y'all hear that? Pain and pleasure. Everything we do, either we're trying to avoid pain or we're trying to gain pleasure. All right? So hang on to that because we're going to get into some good discussion right here. All right, let's go. Woo, I'm feeling hyper. All right. Knowing, now hold on, because this is a little rough, y'all. All right, hang on, but I had to put this slide in here because y'all had to hear the truth. Knowing that you have failed, woo, to live up to your own standards for your life is the ultimate pain. Oh, am I telling the truth? Can I get some waves or something just like, girl, that is the truth? Not somebody else's standards, but when you know you have failed to live up to your own standards, what you said you wanted, what you said you wanted to do, your dreams, your visions, your aspirations, that's painful. Okay? All right, let's go. Woo, that was heavy. Wait, I had to put this in here because I needed a little humor because that was heavy. Yes, that's my friend. Not really. He doesn't know me. But that face said what I really want to feel. Wait, what? Yeah. When I wrote that, I had to say that to myself. Wait, what? What? That is the ultimate pain. All right, Kev. Thanks. We're moving on. All right. cause and effect. Check this out. When you feel frustrated, overwhelmed, angry with yourself, why? Because you know deep down inside there's a need to take action, but you can't get you to do it. See, this is some good stuff. I see you, girl. I see you passing out back there. That is the truth. That's why you're frustrated, overwhelmed, angry, because you know that things need to change. You know you need to take action, but you can't get you. You're like, I know better. What the heck? Yeah. What the heck, man? I see some of the comments. Big facts. I know that's right. Oh, I see an ouch. Hey, this was me. Right here. This was me. You know better. What's your problem? I got in my own way. All right. I don't know if I got questions coming through. I got a lot of comments. No questions. Okay. So here, I like this picture too, because she looks really frustrated, right? This is a question that I think so many people have asked me. I've asked this of other people. Why is it that people can experience pain yet fail to change? When you know it's not working, when you know that you should be doing better, why? It's painful for you, it hurts you, but you refuse to change. Why? Why, y'all? She's hitting her head against the wall. You know this hurts when you hit your head, but you keep doing it anyway. Okay? So right here, I want to introduce something that's not a part of the slide, but I think it is a good point. And it's called a secondary benefit, okay? A secondary gain. And what a secondary gain is when you are still benefiting from the thing that you need to change, but it also causes you pain. What does that look like? Example, somebody who deals with depression, okay? And I feel led to share this because somebody's going to be blessed with this. Somebody who deals with depression doesn't like feeling depressed, okay? They don't like feeling depressed because it's a lot of emotional baggage that goes along with that, and they make poor decisions. But when they are depressed and they have symptoms, they get attention for their depression. They like the attention that they are getting from being depressed, but they don't like being depressed. So the secondary gain of the attention causes them to accept the depression because they don't know any other way to get that attention. That is a fail to change. Oh, yeah. I know that is good right there. So that is one reason why people experience pain, but not enough pain to push you through the threshold. There's an emotional threshold that says, I had enough. But when you haven't had enough, you will continue to do it even though it hurts you. It doesn't hurt you enough. Okay? Is that good teaching? All right, let's go on. When pain becomes our friend, I did not hit my head. This is a really good statement. I know you're probably thinking pain is not my friend, but yes, it is. Pain can become your friend. How? When, as I said, when you hit that level, that threshold, there's a level of pain, and I need y'all to nod your head to something, okay? When you have reached that level of pain, that threshold, you say, I cannot take it anymore. I'm done. I'm finished. Not one more day. This is foolishness. I am raising my standards. Oh, there it is. You say, I've had it, never again. That's when pain becomes your friend. Why? Because that same pain pushes you to new actions and to new results. Are y'all getting this today? Pain can be your friend. When you reach that threat, you say, it's going to push you to make better decisions. It's going to push you to discover what you really deserve. So pain can become your friend. But if without being at that threshold, you will accept whatever comes along with it. All right? All right, let's go. I'm so excited, y'all. Things do not change. We change. Say that with me. Things do not change. We change. Henry David Thoreau. All right. I think we are toward the end, the last slide. Y'all did so well, and we were right at our time. Woo! All right. This is the last slide, guys. I have a challenge for you. You can do it or not, but I am the kind of person, I need challenges. That's how, when I told you about my weight loss, I was challenged to do it, and it helped me, and then the rest is history. So you can choose to do this. Choose a challenge partner. And I said a challenge partner because you need somebody to help hold you accountable. Most of us won't lie to somebody's face. I mean, most of us. I mean, I don't know everybody. And if you do, God help you. Okay. But most of us will be honest. Whoever you choose, they should know you. So choose somebody that know you and know your little tricks, and you be trying to get out of stuff that they will hold you accountable. So I had to get somebody who would come real hard for me. Okay. She on here now, y'all. All right. Number 2, choose one thing you like to change. I ask you to write down 3 things that are challenging you right now. Choose one of those things, if you like, that I'd like to change or improve upon. I ask you to only do one because this is a 7-day challenge. If you did all 3, you'd be overwhelmed. Okay. Then you'd be falling apart and, oh my God, I couldn't do it. So just one thing. Okay. Okay. Check in once per day. You don't need to talk to them all day. It can be an email, text, phone, in person. I call them your roar buddy. And you have to say, would you be my roar buddy? Even if they weren't on here. Explain, say, listen, I'm struggling with this right here. I really want to make this change. I just need for 7 days for you to hold me accountable to make this change. I have to be honest, and you have to be honest with me. So you don't want people who are going to tell you stuff that's not true. Okay? I'm the friend that would tell you the truth. I'm the friend that would tell you have something in your nose and something in your teeth. I'm that friend. Yes, I am. I won't let you walk around like that. And don't you let me walk around like that. Okay? So let me give you some points. This is what you're supposed to do within these 7 days. Refuse to dwell on any negative thoughts or feelings. That within itself is going to be hard. Refuse to dwell on any negative thoughts or feelings. You say, oh, that's easy. We'll see. All right. That means all day. Number 2, when you catch yourself beginning to focus, and it will happen, you must immediately use your techniques, the power of focus, the power of movement, rethinking, all of the things we talked about today. Use those techniques to refocus, to change your emotional state. Okay? That's what you have to do. Number 3, if you catch yourself indulging, dwelling in a negative thought or feeling, don't beat yourself up about it, but girl, get yourself together, okay? Put yourself in check, purpose to change your thinking immediately. But this is where the honesty piece comes in. If you find yourself going there multiple times a day or just dwelling there, then you have to be honest, tell your accountability partner, and you have to start over with 7 more days. Yeah, if you cheat, you're cheating on yourself. I won't know any different, so you won't be lying to me. This is for you because you deserve to be positive. You deserve to have a good atmosphere. Negativity, he's like, I don't have time for that because it drains us. It puts wrinkles in your face. It makes you tired, guys. It just gives you headaches, all of these things with negativity. And just say for 7 days, I'm going to focus on positive because I need those creative juices. Do y'all remember the thinking, the creative thinking, and the critical thinking? Right now, with the COVID, we're stuck in critical thinking. It's time to shift to creative thinking. That's going to help you figure out your strategies. It's going to help you figure out how to move ahead. It's going to help you figure out how to plan, how to become greater. You need to be able to think creatively. And you can't do that if you're stuck in critical thinking, if you're stuck in environments that are not healthy or they are not positive, okay? So that is it for our Roar Challenge, 7 days. I think that's it for me. If you have questions, guys, this is the chance to go ahead and ask me. Everybody, we did it. 2 hours. I did it. Yay. So I am so happy to have all of you join me today.